Well, the first place had someone shooting something out there, and I couldn't see him, but I heard it, and I was not about to fly the drone out there and have them think I was spying on them and then get myself into trouble. So I drove on past that a ways, and now I'm just kind of bushwhacking, literally, out to see if I can get a view to fly the drone. So see what we can find. Gotta be careful of snakes in here and cactuses. Hi guys, I'm currently on the moon, if you haven't noticed. Just kidding, I'm actually out in Lyman, Wyoming, and it is a crazy cool landscape here. There's a valley with agricultural fields, cows, all that beautiful green stuff that way. And then you get up into here and we're in the Badlands, which are these crazy cool hills that are so just beautiful. There's like beautiful striping of different colors, and they're made of this crazy crumbly clay stuff. I don't know if it's clay for sure, but just really a neat place. And I think maybe something about the wide open spaces and the completely different landscapes and different lifestyle in Wyoming, in this area, when I come visit, it just gets me thinking about my life, and it gives me a total breath of fresh air. So I wanted to make a little video because I haven't made a video in a long time, and it's been eating at me a little bit. So I've been reflecting on why I haven't made video content in quite a while, and why it just seems so hard to get back on the horse. I feel like that's an appropriate analogy for Wyoming. And I've kind of been thinking about that and come to the realization that there's a lot of imposter syndrome going on right now in my life. And I wanted to make a video about it because I need to express myself for me to feel like I can keep making video content. And I don't know why I'm so stuck, but I think maybe getting all this out is part of what will help things move and help me get back in the creative process. And I was also thinking that, you know, I don't think I'm alone in this dealing with imposter syndrome, especially in a creative space. Just feeling like no matter what I do, it's never going to be quite good enough to what I want it to be, and therefore it's going to be embarrassing. People aren't going to want to see it. People are going to judge it, not as terrible, but oh, it could have been better. And what's funny is that's coming from me. I am super self-critical of my work, and I don't have all the skills to be as good as I want to be yet. And the funny thing is, to get there, I need to actually do it. And so I'm making this video mostly to just do it. I need to do the things I want to do, whether or not they are perfect, and eventually they'll get better by just practicing. And I think as an adult, it is really hard to let myself just practice and fail and practice and fail and practice and fail and not treat failure as the end of the world. And I say failure because, yes, sometimes we don't accomplish what we wanted and we see that as failure. But is it really the end of the world? No. But to be honest, it kind of feels like it. To anyone else who's out there and who feels self-critical and just like they keep not getting things right and they just don't have their life together in the way they want it, and is just frustrated by that, this is for you. I'm feeling a bit that way too, and I think there's many factors to that, but I want to share some of what's going on for me, and I hope that it encourages you, because I've always tried to be really transparent. What is beeping? Sorry if the screen changed or the sound or anything. I actually have you sitting on my drone case supported by my camera. No tripod, no mic. This is very rudimentary. But my drone started beeping from inside the bag, so I don't know what's going on. But we took care of that. So, where was I? think what I was saying is I just really want to share what's going on in my life. Not everything, of course, but I just want to be authentic and transparent, because I've noticed for me, when I see other creative people share their lives openly, it really makes me feel seen. It reminds me that the human experience exists in all of us, and we all share similar experiences, very different, but also I think everyone's pretty much felt down on themselves sometimes, self-critical, imposter syndrome, kind of just frustrated at kind of where they're at in life and just not quite where they want to be. And I think often people have these experiences and feel like they are the only one, and they look around and everyone else is has got it together, and that's actually not true. Or if they have it together, they've worked really hard to get there, and they weren't always there. So I just want to share some of those things, because you're not alone if you're going through this. I'm going through it. I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there too. But anyways, kind of where I'm at in life is I moved home from another country, and it's coming up on a year in November. And that feels like such a long time, but also it feels like no time at all. And I moved back to my hometown with my family, and I'm so happy to have that safety net. And yet at the same time, I'm coming into a phase of my life where I want a big girl job. I want my own place. I want more stability in my life. I want to start moving toward my big goals in life. And a lot of those things take money and stability and time. And it's hard to just manufacture that quickly. You can't often. And so I have been pursuing, the storm is rolling in. I probably should consider wrapping up pretty soon, but we're going to push it a little bit more and see what happens. Yeah, I've just been pursuing things like a job in the environmental field, in closer to my career path and kind of what I went to school for. And I love environmental studies and communications, and that is really what I would love to work in. And yet, getting a job has not proven to be as easy. I am so grateful that I have a wonderful, steady income right now, but I have so many career dreams too. And I also want to start saving up money in a more serious way, because I have goals in maybe owning land and a home someday. And I don't want someday to be when I'm 40. I want to start moving towards some of these things intentionally. And yet the pace that I'm at, for some reason, just feels slow. It feels too slow. And it's funny because I don't know who I'm comparing myself to, but I think probably, other people my age for sure, and cultural expectations, and kind of where I saw myself in life, and realizing that life doesn't pan out often how we expect it to. So there's a lot of things that have been going on for me in the month since I have moved back to the United States, and it's still a process to figure out what I'm doing and where I'm going, and I don't have the answers, and that's really dissatisfying to me. I want to have the answers. I want to know the plan so I can make intentional steps to move toward it, and that's just not where I'm at. And I also think that there's something to be said for taking steps even though you don't know exactly where they're going to lead you, and not letting a lack of a complete knowledge of your future keep you from taking steps forward. And you'll run into things in life that redirect you, and you keep moving forward there, and then you redirect and keep moving forward. And I really do believe that, but I also am not spared the self-consciousness of not being where I want to be and not having all the things I want to have in life. I still am victim to the imposter syndrome of, well, I thought by this age I would be in a career of some sort and have my own space, whether that be rental or, moving toward owning a home in the next X number of years. All of those things. And those desires aren't necessarily bad. However, I am feeling convicted that my lack of them and my desire for them is taking a lot of focus off of what I do have in my life, the connections that exist there, the work I am doing, and the work I can be doing, even though I don't know if it's going to be permanent or that meaningful, like this, making videos. Is that really what I should be doing? I don't know, but it's a creative outlet and I'm expressing myself and trying to encourage others. And so I see that as good, meaningful work as well. Not that it is the career that I am angling for, or maybe it is, I don't know. But just because something's not permanent, or you don't think it's going to be permanent, or it's not where you saw yourself, doesn't mean it doesn't have value. So all that to say, I'm feeling a lot of imposter syndrome right now in my life, in my creativity, in my career, in my station in life where I'm at. I just am feeling a lot of imposter syndrome, and I'm unsure of where to go and what choices to make to move me where I want to be. And I don't think I'm alone. And I hope by sharing this, you feel encouraged. Even if you're 65 years old and you're going through retirement and you're transitioning and you see this and you're like, oh, someone else is in a transitional period. Cool, I'm not alone. And if you're 12 and you're transitioning grades, whatever, if you're my age in your 20s and you are transitioning out of college or something, or you never went to college and you're questioning that, just wherever you're at in life, I know that it can be challenging to not be where you thought you'd be and to not know how to get to where you want to be. And I don't want to let all of those stresses keep me from actually living my life. And I often do, because I'm dwelling so much on, oh my gosh, where do I need to be? What do I need to do? That I am not in the present moment. And I do think we need to work on our futures and, invest in our futures and prepare and plan for the future and all that. I think those are good things. But where a good thing can become an excessive thing and therefore not a good thing is when it's all that we focus on. And I just think that I miss out sometimes on this kind of thing. Just sitting down in a crazy landscape that I drove to by myself because no one else could go or wanted to go. And I was like, I'm going to go. I want to go, So I drove out here and now I'm here, and this beautiful blueberry milk sky storm is moving toward me, and it's so cool. And I feel like I'm talking to a friend even though it's just my phone, but I haven't actually sat down and made a video in months. And the longer it goes, the more I'm like, oh, I can't get back to it because I let so much time pass. People are going to be mad at me for being gone so long. No one cares. No one's relying on me. Or people don't want to hear what I have to say, or it's not good enough. It's not going to be artsy enough for people to watch, or people don't actually enjoy listening to what I have to say or the way I say it. I talk too fast. I have not a big enough vocabulary. I move too much when I speak. Whatever, all these things that I could be worried about. I've just been letting a lot of stuff stop me from living life and enjoying it and doing fun things, like creative work, because I think I'm so worried about it not being good enough. And also that it's not what I should be doing because I don't have a big girl job yet, so I should be devoting all my energy to finding that, and there is no room for this kind of nonsense. That voice is in my head that tells me that this is pathetic and I should not be spending time on this. Grow up. What do you think you are, an influencer or something? I don't want to let that run my life, and sometimes I do. So I'm coming on here to try and break the ice with myself and make a video again. And I hope that this was encouraging to you, and I hope that this was cool, seeing the landscapes. I hope you enjoy the beautiful drone footage. I flew my drone for like 5-10 minutes, and then the battery died, and then the other 2 batteries weren't charged. So, dude, I came out here very unprepared and willy-nilly, but I'm doing it anyways. So, if you see this, if I end up posting this, cheers to breaking the ice with ourselves and starting the forward momentum again in our lives. Even if there's been a really long slump, you can always move forward again. Wherever forward is for you, you can always move forward. All right. See you out there. I can see dust moving across the desert down below, and I don't know for sure, but I think it might be the rain. So I'm like, maybe I should get back to the car, because this will all turn to mud, and I don't want to be here for that. Yep, time to go. I can smell the rain, and I can hear it, and the wind is picking up. I just couldn't stop taking pictures. Okay, I gotta watch where I'm going. See you later.